Actually, Human Metal looks like the type of person who has never had a J in his life.
A J?
Yeah. A joint, a spliff.
That's only what all people call it.
A doobie.
Okay, joint, I know. No, I have not.
No.
Doobie snacks.
No people call it that anymore. Doobie.
No, I have not.
You old fuck.
You've never had a... Oh my god, you've never spliffed out and listened to Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. Oh my god.
I've spliffed out lots of times, but not the Dark Side of the Moon.
Well, you should totally do that. I'm telling you. If you ever want to go on a sci-fi trip, like, that's the ticket right there. The abyssal lair of the Radiophonic Sea Creatures. Start a sordid circus act where you spin plates on the tip of your cock because I, Tokyo Choo-Choo, am going to be your host today. And with me as always are two men who can actually spin silk from the tip of their cocks. They both have a side business where they make their own shirts. It's Human Metal and Brack. So, how are you guys?
Spider-Man does that as well. Yeah.
No, he does it from his ass.
Oh, from his ass.
Yeah, exactly. Also, nobody wants to buy those shirts. I wonder why.
Really?
What circuses are you frequenting, Choo-Choo? I wonder.
I'm selling my shirts are sold out, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, you just need to add the Star Wars logo on it. And
oh shit. Yeah, I didn't think this through. I see it now. Oh, okay. All right. Glad to be back again. Let's jump right into what I've actually seen or watched or whatever. Obviously Avengers 2, which I have heard Bragg already talked about in the last week's Shallows, so I won't elaborate on that much further. Let's just say it was a cool movie, as expected, and I liked the action more than in the first movie, but some of the character bits felt maybe a bit short this time around, or at least some of the character motivation came out of nowhere and was like, well, okay, now this needs to happen, and this needs to happen, and this needs to happen. So, in hindsight, wasn't a big fan of that, so way too much stuff jammed into this movie in some parts. Really, really way too much stuff. Like, it was already so long, and they could have, added. There was it's rumored to be like a 3.5 hour cut of this movie, and I'm not surprised because it shows. So anyway, yeah, there's that. But the other thing that just happened for you Arrow and Flash fans out there who are following the CW shows, they just released a trailer for a new show that is basically a crossover show with some of the characters that were introduced in Flash and Arrow, like the Atom, Firestorm, and stuff like that. And it's called the Legends of Tomorrow trailer. It's basically Justice Society-ish. There's Hawkgirl is in there as well, and Return Time Traveler. So it looks interesting. All of them team up to fight Vandal Savage, the Neanderthal who touched a meteor and thus gained eternal life for some reason. And I
love comic book storylines sometimes. They're just so out there.
Yeah, totally crazy and dumb.
I need to find me a meteor immediately.
Yeah, you do that.
Yeah.
Hope to find the right one.
Yeah, we already knew you were a Neanderthaler, so you should be the meteor as well. You can turn into Vandal Savage.
You're calling Neanderthal, you fuck.
So I guess there will be a lot of time travel in that show, and the trailer looks really cool, actually. It's promising. Some of the CG, as expected, is not up to par in terms of budget. When Adam actually shrinks down, it looks a bit wonky.
It looks like a Toy Story character.
Yeah, a bit.
From Toy Story 1.
And I don't get why they did that. I mean, you don't need for shrinking effect, you don't need to make, after you shrunk the character down, you don't need him to be CG. So why is he CG? And I don't know. It's the trailer shot probably. I don't think they will keep it like that in the show. Anyway, yeah, it looks cool. Bragg has watched it too. What did you think about it?
Yeah, I agree. I think it looks cool. I was happy to see Hawkgirl because she's in all the animated movies and animated shows, so
yeah.
Happy to see her finally in live action.
Yeah.
And it looks good. Special effects are kind of silly though. Like the special effects are pretty bad most of the trailer. So I hope that's like just early cut, like trailers they're not finished yet with the actual special effects. I hope it's going to be better in like the actual show.
Maybe.
But
Wouldn't count on it though.
I would count on it. No. But I think for some reason the special effects in like the Flash are way better. I think because they just got that Flash beat special effect, they got that down. And I reuse it every single time. So yeah.
Every time they slow it down, though, in the battle scenes, not every time, but sometimes, there's some janky movement here and there if they go full CG on the body parts. So
I think it's for me also Firestorm. Like the fire always looks so fake.
Yeah, it's weird a bit
because we know how actual fire is supposed to look like.
Yeah.
So of course it looks really bad, but like with the lasers and stuff, you don't know how the actual lasers are supposed to look like ice lasers. So
yeah,
it doesn't really matter.
To be fair, though, it looks much better. It could have looked much worse. That's what I'm saying. Like for TV budget of a network show, it looks okay. It's not Game of Thrones, but it's decent TV CG.
About to say, try telling Game of Thrones about that.
Yeah, that show looks amazing.
Yeah.
When was the last time you ever looked at Game of Thrones and thought, hang on, that doesn't look right?
I think that actually only happened once in the beginning, and after that it was just wow, holy shit, wow. Choo-Choo, did you do anything spectacular the previous week that you want to talk about?
Well, the Choo-Choo hasn't had much time to game or watch movies recently because I've been doing other things such as messing around with hot girls, as is the Choo-Choo's want. But I played Shovel Knight.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, on PS4, I'm still playing Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight is literally the only video game I have played, apart from the obligatory stick Grand Theft Auto in to make some progress, and then spend 30 minutes shooting random people on the street, getting into police chases, and then shutting it off because you get bored.
How every Grand Theft Auto game ends eventually.
With that, we're going to move out of the shallows and into the depths. Welcome back to the depths. So today on the depths, we're going to be talking about Human Metal's favorite company, an evil Nazi-loving regime, which of course is Disney. So, we've each chosen a favorite kind of Disney movie to talk about, and we have a couple of questions on the back burner. So let's launch in and get straight on with it. So Brack, you Disney-loving creepy ass fuck, this was your topic. So why don't you dig in with your first Disney film? You fucking creepy child molesting fuck. We got a hand job from my mum, you bastard.
I felt really bad about it. Not because I got a hand job for your mother, because it was a really bad hand job. That's why.
And yet, he didn't feel bad about molesting children.
Oh, no, I never did that. So, yeah, I wouldn't feel too bad about that.
See, before we restarted to sporting, I said, please let's change the subject. It didn't hold.
No, it didn't hold. Just like his mother, she couldn't hold. I don't know. She has such small hands.
The sad thing is Brad couldn't hold either.
Okay, let's get back to the topic and just cut this out, please.
Can we? No, it's staying in.
Please.
The question was, what is our favorite? What's the favorite like Disney movie? And I. Unlike you guys, the right answer, because it's Lion King. Of course it's Lion King. Everybody in the world agrees that it's Lion King, which is the best Disney movie.
No. I don't agree with that.
Because you guys are wrong. And you never had a childhood, that's why.
It's the most popular one, maybe.
Yes. You know why it's the most popular one?
Because
it's the best one.
People who are cheap, that's why.
It has the best songs. It has the most emotional moments.
It has the best
storyline.
What's the best song in Lion King? I debate that immediately.
Hakuna Matata, of course.
Hakuna Matata. Okay, if you put that in there, I can show you the world. I don't know, from fucking Aladdin or Under the Sea from Little Mermaid. You got stiff competition there.
Yeah, but Hakuna Matata is better.
No, it's not.
It is. It just is. And you have, of course, the bad guy, Scar, played by Jeremy Irons.
Yeah.
kind of a shitty name because he has a scar. This just gave him the name Scar. Kind of an asshole. Like, I would call Tokyo Choo Choo bald because he's bald. That's not a nice thing to do. Of course he turned evil.
Yeah, but Brack would be beard and Human Metal would be glasses or teeth.
Yeah.
Sorry, Human Metal, that's one was evil.
Yeah, because you're bald. Bald people are always evil in movies. You know that, right?
I am evil. There's no doubt about that. If one of the three of us were to conquer the world or to enslave the world, it would be me.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you're already too old for that. I think
No.
You should start earlier.
Yeah, no, I get all my henchmen to do it. Like, I think if one of us were to sit down quietly in a corner and read a book, it would be Human Metal. And if one of us were to get a hand job from a really bony skeleton, it would be Brack. Thanks for telling us that, Human Metal. Your IQ, the IQ.
He can't read. He can't read.
Yeah,
Listen, there's this great invention. It's called audiobooks, and I listen to them on a regular basis.
Yeah.
But I don't bother with actually reading the stuff anymore.
That's right.
I just read news article and everything.
I remember audiobooks. They have a special word for them in England. What do they call them? Oh yeah, books for idiots.
Really? Is that what they call it in England?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
It's for idiots. I'm just going to go down.
That means they don't have a real word for audiobooks in England? That means they're idiots themselves? Okay, I get it. Okay, I can see what's this.
Well, us English, we do everything the complicated way, baby.
Yeah, apparently. Fucking Brits. Fucking island monkeys.
You can say what you want about our island monkeys, but we kicked your ass in World War II, you fuck.
I think that was more
with
the
little
Russians.
help of your friends.
That was more the Russians than the Americans, to be honest.
Yeah, really. You bumped your ass into nothingness.
Probably, but don't tell the British propaganda unit that.
Can we get back to Disney, please? Because
we're talking about World War II and Nazis. We got to get back to Disney. They're connected.
Talking about propaganda. Now let's get back to Disney.
Yeah.
So my pick is of course The Lion King, mainly because, in my opinion, is my favorite. I watched it when I was a kid, of course.
I watched it when I was a teenager. He watched it when he was like 1.
Yeah, actually, it came out when I was 1, so yeah. But I think I watched it when I was like 8 or something like that, maybe even younger, like 6. It came out like literally when I was 1, so yeah.
It was like 3 years ago. Jeez.
So to be fair, it's a strong story. I have not that big ties to it because I didn't see it in the movie theater when I was a kid. I don't know for what reason. Maybe this is the very short time where I was out of the animated movie. Adrian was like, no, I gotta watch all those tough action movies now. I can't deal with those movies, stupid stuff like that. And then I got back to it. So anyway, I like The Lion King, but just it doesn't have such a firm nostalgic grasp on me like some of the other movies do, because I guess I was too old, already too old when that came out. But I like it. I have it on Blu-ray actually, and it still holds up. It's a good movie, and has nice dramatic and funny scenes in it, and cool comic relief characters in Timon and Pumbaa, and good stuff. But not my favorite.
Not my favorite, not by a long shot. I actually find The Lion King quite tedious, to be honest. I think I don't know what it is. I mean, I enjoy some of the elements of it. I specifically, when I think of The Lion King, of course, the first thing I think about is Jeremy Irons and Scar. So I think
such a great bad guy.
Yeah, he was a great bad guy. There's no doubt about that. But I think he was the only interesting thing. I mean, I think that stems from my general feeling about Disney. I mean, I'm not all in for that happy singing and dancing bullshit. Like, in general, I'm not the biggest Disney fan, as I will soon relay to you. So, I don't know, but for some reason, The Lion King didn't really do anything for me, and I find it's an unevenly paced film. It has a very strange, it kind of has a weird structure where it seems sort of disjointed in its pacing. So I never quite enjoyed that about The Lion King. It's like it's the build up to the death of Simba's father is really good. Yeah. And then after he exiles himself for stupid ass reasons, and
sing nice songs with his adopted parents. His 2 gay parents.
After that happens, the movie never really picks up again. You get this kind of dramatic finish, but You know, it's like it doesn't get to the heights of the first part of the movie. I would agree with that. I would also say though that I think it's the visually most impressive movie, a Disney movie, if nothing else. I think there are a lot of great, well photographed and framed pieces in that movie.
I
just in terms of scale.
I would agree with your assessment on the animation. I mean, I don't think Disney can be really faulted when it comes to animation. I think all their films are fucking great, but and Lion King is no exception.
Not all of them. Not all of them.
Most of them.
Treasure Planet, for example. Oh god, that's horrible.
Have you watched Aristocats and Robin Hood lately?
No, but I haven't watched those films since I was kids. But I completely agree with the actual humor methods. Like Lion King for me is like great beginning until his father dies, like that's all good, right? Then there's this massive lull, this massive black hole of like nothing until the climax comes when the bad guy makes himself apparent and, you know, pulls the strings, and you have that really cool fight with the bad guy at the end.
Which doesn't really work either. That's another point of critique, because after Scar gets to power, he becomes like this super sissy bitch who is like, you know, let the lioness do the work, and I am just a scared little prissy bitch asshole. And it's just like he's not threatening anymore. He's just a lazy asshole. It's like, well, now you're a part. Okay, now it's all over. Nothing can threaten me anymore. And like, Simba is still out there, dude. He could come back anytime. But yeah, whatever. It's weird. It's like the movie just loses steam.
I think so. But for me, like the central section of that film just disappears. It doesn't exist. Like, I can't remember a single, apart from that fucking Hakuna Matata. I remember this one great quote, which I love science, so I just always thought it was hilarious, the way they were talking about what the stars are. And then one of them says, you know, oh, I think they're giant balls of gas out in space. Like, I just thought that was amazing when I was a kid. But, apart from that scene, I literally cannot remember anything from the beginning, from the middle section of Lion King. I mean, I remember the stampede. I remember the fight with Scar. I don't remember anything from the middle apart from them singing Hakuna Matata. Like, yeah. Where did it go? It's just like sucked into a black hole. Yeah. But anyway, Bragg, you are the fan of the film, so why don't you tell us what you love about that film? Yeah, rather than
a lot, but I don't really remember it because it's such a long time since I watched the movie. Bragg, but it was my favorite.
You're only like 12 years old. There's no such thing as a long time for you.
Yeah, so it was literally half my lifetime ago, the last time I seen it. So
I like that. I gotta say, he picks his favorite Disney film, a film which he hasn't seen for half his life, to go with.
I like how the ending is like mega dark. You know how most of the Disney villains just fall to their deaths. It's like a staple. Yeah. But you know, Lion King is one of these movies that has like this super violent ending. You don't see it, but you know what's alluded to, that the hyena underlings of Scar turn against him and basically tear him apart and eat him.
Yeah,
because they're hungry. That's like, I was like, holy shit. It's one of the darkest things I've ever seen.
You know, a Disney film would actually never die in the Netherlands because it's so flat over here. There's not a high place to fall off from. So
they can't relate.
Yeah. So if you ever want to be a Disney villain, go to the Netherlands and be a Disney villain there because you can't die. You're immortal there.
I will talk about my most shocking Disney death a little bit later. Actually, I'm gonna highlight that. But okay, so we're actually gonna come on to the first Radiophonic Sea Creatures question. And that question is going to be, so we're talking about Disney movies, but hey, there are lots of Disney video games, right? So have you guys had any like really special experiences with the actual, you know, of the multitude of video games released? So Brack is a bit older than you and I, Human Metal, so he probably missed out on the
I'm really a bit older than you guys? I don't think I'm a bit older.
No, sorry, that's the Choo-Choo, that's the Rum and Coke talking. Hello, Rum and Coke, how are you?
He's actually a better conversationalist than you, so no problem. Let him keep talking.
That's a goddamn true story, actually. I'm a pretty fun drunk. But anyway, Brack. So, yeah, you were a little bit younger than us, so you probably missed out on I think the peak era of Disney video games, like, you know, with the games like The Lion King and Aladdin and such like were released and stuff like that, like the Castle of Illusion and such like. Anyway, so yeah, special games for you guys from the Disney franchise. So Brack, you're the youngest of us. Basically, you probably got to play all the shitty ones. So how about you? Like, what Disney games were special for you back in the day?
I'm gonna cheat because my pick is Kingdom Hearts, which is not 100% a Disney game. It's also like a Square Enix game.
It is a Disney game though, yeah.
I think most of it is still Disney, and the reason I like it so much is because you get to interact with all the Disney characters, and you get to go through like almost all the Disney worlds, like a lot of the Disney worlds in the first Kingdom Hearts, and like a lot more in the second one, and it's just filled with references, and most of them, like some of them have like some of the voice actors from like the movies as well. It's really, just really a lot of fun, and the game itself is also pretty good. It's like a hack and slash version of like Final Fantasy, so it's like Final Fantasy for people that have ADD. Because it's like so much faster and a lot more fun in my opinion.
Okay, that sounds. See, I had no interest in Kingdom Hearts until you said the fact that it's hack and slash and is like Final Fantasy for people who have ADD. Like that immediately sounds much more appealing to me.
Yeah, but here comes the caveat. I think if you play it now when you're a bit older, like when I see like some of the gameplays and some of the dialogue, that some of the dialogue is so bad. Like, especially for, like, the non-Disney characters.
Well, of course, it's a Japanese game. What the fuck?
Dialogue is just horrible. And, like, the first one has such a slow opening, which takes, like, over an hour long, where it's just stuck on an island or something, and it's just kind of boring. As a kid, I didn't mind. I really liked it, but I think if I play it right now, I would like, oh, what the fuck is going on here? This is so boring.
Wind Waker
to be fair... And to be fair, the combat only gets really good in the later games too.
Yeah.
So I recently replayed the HD remake, played the HD remake of the first or port of the first Kingdom Hearts game, because I have not played any of the from the series, and I was like, oh, it's cool, it's interesting, but the combat is really bare bones in the first iteration of that franchise. It's it's an interesting world they craft in terms of crossover, and I like crossover shit, so it's cool, but. It just some of the game mechanics just couldn't hold my interest, so I dropped it. I don't know if I will try give it another try, but I know at this point you can't play any of the later Kingdom Hearts games because the story gets so convoluted and crazy.
I have played most of them, and when I play like one of the later ones, it's just so long ago. I was like, who the fuck is this character? What are they doing? What's their motivation? And like, this character actually was this character, who was actually this character. And oh, it's the brother of this character. And Daenerys is here for some reason, and she has dragons. And why is Peter Dinklage here? I have no fucking clue what's going on. Like, that's what happens in like the later Kingdom Hearts games.
All this negativity. You know what I like to do when like I have all this negativity? You know, I just like to laugh at the sky.
No. No,
it's amazing.
No, don't mention that fucking scene in the game.
So how about you, Human Metal? What Disney games have been special for you?
Well, young fellas, let me take you back to a time when companies like Konami and Capcom weren't so far up their own ass that they actually had more than one good franchise. And Capcom actually produced a lot of games based on Disney licenses back in my children days.
I see where this is going.
Yeah, obviously. And most of them were good. Can you believe it?
Yeah, I can, because I was there.
Yeah, actual classics. Let me just, rattle them off. DuckTales, Mickey's Magical Quest, Aladdin, Chip&Dale, Goof Troop, Darkwing Duck. So many good games, and all by Capcom. It's hard to imagine these days. And I played...
And by Darkwing Duck, he means the NES version, not the TurboGrafx 16 version.
Not the TurboGrafx, exactly. The NES version, which was, pretty much a Mega Man clone, but nonetheless a cool one. And they really made a lot of great games, and I played all of them, and I pretty much loved all of them. I'm not the biggest fan of Goof Troop because it's a puzzler, but it's still a good game. It's a really good game. It's just not my game style that I prefer. So, yeah, great stuff. And that still holds up if you play it these days. I mean, DuckTales recently got a remastered HD version, which was fantastic.
But the original, I'm not joking, the original NES version was still better than the remaster version. It was. No, seriously, I'll tell you why. Just to go off on a quick tangent here, Human Metal, since you're talking about DuckTales, and it was literally one of my favorite games when I was a kid, right? The new one has superior graphics, and arguably it does have better boss fights, but however, it has a really unbalanced ending that has a massive difficulty spike. But more importantly, it forces you to explore. The original, right, basically had lots of secrets and stuff that you could go off and explore. But the new one actually forces you to go and explore every single fucking nook and cranny of the map. It directs you on the map. It has like a Metroid style mini map, and I think that totally ruins the spirit of exploration from the original. So, and plus, graphically, the new one, nice graphics, but the original one has that kind of undefinable charm, like that kind of bit graphic style charm. So, actually, if I want to play DuckTales these days, frankly, even though it's a bit more bothering, I'd rather play it on the emulator or the actual Famicom than the remake. But hey, that's how I roll. But if you want to care to disagree with me, go ahead.
No, I think the first one still holds up, especially for speedrunning or stuff like that.
It's amazing.
But I was really impressed how much work WayForward put into the remake, like all the hand-drawn animation, and it just looks super fluid. And I like the music by Jake Kaufman, and it's great stuff all around. And I was really happy to see one of my childhood classics and most beloved games, actually get this attention. This is, gotta give Capcom a break here. I didn't expect that to happen. Though, to be fair again, I think that was initiated by Capcom of America, who are not responsible for most of the shit Capcom has been pulling these past years. That was Capcom of Japan. The Capcom of America has always tried to be more fan-oriented and try to create some projects. And WayForward is an American studio, so there you go. I think that was basically that happened because Capcom of America made it happen. So gotta give a break to those guys. Capcom of America is cool. Capcom of Japan are a bunch of assholes.
You can give a break to Capcom of Japan too, just broken leg.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, definitely. If you want to check out good jump runs and some platforms and puzzle games of the past, you can't go wrong with most of the Disney stuff Capcom has put out in the NES and SNES era. Give it a try. Choo-choo, what about you? If you didn't want to talk about DuckTales.
Well, of course, Human Metal, by bringing up Capcom and Konami and stuff, has basically just chosen every single great selection from the 8 and 16-bit era, so thanks for that. Leaving me with nothing, bare bones, motherfucker. But, yeah, just to quickly say, the NES DuckTales, seriously, actually is my favorite NES game of all time. Like, I know there are so many NES classics like Ninja Gaiden and Super Mario Bros. 3, of course, cannot be dismissed. But for me personally, DuckTales was that game that I loved it when I was a kid. I love it now I'm an adult. It's one of those games that never ages. It never gets old. Those graphics, that soundtrack, the gameplay, it just doesn't age. It's absolutely fucking timeless. It's a wonderful, wonderful piece of gaming history. And as Human Metal was saying, the remake actually really great. I love it too. I played it. I finished it. I loved it. But I still prefer the original, and not just for nostalgia reasons. But hey, call me an old man if you will. And I know Brad.
Did you play the sequel?
Yes, I did. It wasn't as good as the original. The sequel was a bit of a difficult proposition. I mean, I still have to put more time into it. I haven't put as much time into it as I did the original. In fact, I was thinking about playing it literally the other day, actually. But the sequel was way more difficult. It added a whole bunch of mechanics into the mix, and I'm sure it's not a bad game. Definitely not. It's actually really, really solid, but it doesn't quite capture the like when you play the original DuckTales, it's hard to put down. When you play the sequel, it's like, yeah, I'm done. After you've died 5 times, it's like, yeah, I'm done with this. But yeah, so, I don't know. The sequel is not bad, but, it doesn't quite have the X factor. Although if they made a HD remake of the second version, shit, I'd be down for that.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah. Holy shit, yeah. Please.
Definitely. Yeah, do it, Capcom. Make money. I got $10 here that says like.
when they announced that a new DuckTales cartoon is coming from Disney, the first thing I did was tweet to Way Forward, guys, how about that remastered version of DuckTales 2 now?
So what they say back?
They favorited my tweet, so they at least noticed. So I was like, come on, let's make it happen. So maybe we'll see. I mean, if the show is into people's mind again, maybe that at least increases the chances of that actually happening. So we'll see.
If that happens, they got $10 or $15 of my money. So anyway,
yeah, your mother got $10 or $15 of my money as well.
I bet she did. And your cock got a nasty ass chafering. And probably my mother got an STD. So, anyway.
Let's get to the next movie.
Your mother probably has an STD, but it didn't come from me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it did. You just don't know. You're poison, Bragg. So, anyway, we're going to come on to the next movie. Human Metal, you have the next Disney movie that you're a fan of.
I'm going to keep it short because Bragg has to leave in 19 minutes. Anyway, I picked Aladdin.
Short, like every session with Bragg's mum.
Yeah, I picked Aladdin.
I know, you don't have to stop it anymore, I'm sure.
Why do you entertain that? You don't have time to react to that.
Your mom actually went on for a long time.
Anyway.
She's pretty spring for an old bird, that's all I gotta say.
I'm gonna end this call, guys.
But she wasn't that good if she made you go for a long time. It doesn't even work as that offends my mother.
Okay.
Fuck it.
Bragg is really annoyed. Was really annoyed in the beginning because he didn't get into gear and stuff like that. Oh, he's wasting time, and now you both waste time. Like, fuck it all. Jesus.
I'm so sorry.
Anyway,
oh my god, I'm so sorry.
I picked Aladdin because I like the setting.
Alright, you metal, for fuck's sake, go.
Okay, let's get back on. Your favorite movie was Aladdin, right?
I called like Bragg's mum.
It's not my fault if we don't finish this recording.
Oh, I'm pretty sure we don't finish this recording already.
Alright, go, Human Metal.
We have 17 minutes, come on.
Come on, Human Metal, go!
Can we try? Thank you. Anyway, So the Disney movie I'm picked is Aladdin because, I just really liked the setting. I enjoyed it very much when I watched it in the movie theater back as a kid, so there's a lot of nostalgia attached to it. And I like pretty much all the characters in that movie. Jafar is a really nice, evil, conniving villain, and just all around cool stuff. The genie is cool. Robin Williams, of course, maybe a bit too many anachronistic singers in there, I think
of references. That he most of the stuff is improvised, what he did.
Yeah, but it's still that's also the reason why a lot of it still works.
I just show you the rope. I can show you it's snap tight.
Okay, this got dark again. Anyway, yeah, it's just still, it's good stuff. It's entertaining, and I like the setting and the characters. It's just all the reasons to enjoy a movie, I guess. And Aladdin still holds up, except for maybe the early CG tryouts they did with that movie, like experimentation with the cave. Of, I don't know, Thousand Wonders or whatever it's called. And that
I like that
scene. I like that scene too, but it still looks a bit weird if you look closely these days. So, you can see how it's still bare bones CG experimentation. So, but it works. But only if you don't look too closely. But yeah, still a good movie, great movie actually, and I enjoyed it.
Mom really only works. It works, but only if you don't look too close.
Shut! Oh man, I wanted to make the same joke, but it's like, okay, I'm gonna keep myself. I'm not gonna do it, and then he does it. Oh, the asshole.
That's what Bragg was thinking. I'm not gonna do it. No, I'm gonna do it.
Okay, do you guys say anything about Aladdin, or should we continue?
Yes, Aladdin. I prefer Aladdin to Lion King.
I prefer Aladdin to your mom.
I think anybody would prefer Aladdin to my mom, except you sick fuck. Well, basically, Aladdin is a pretty great movie. Robbie Williams? No, wait, that's not right.
Robbie Williams is the one we wanted to pull suicide.
No, that's kind of harsh, bro.
Okay, that is too dark. I'm sorry.
Yes, Aladdin was a pretty great movie. I enjoyed that a lot more than A Lion King. I think Robin Williams' performance was pretty great in that. God rest his soul. As you know, his daughter's called Zelda. And that's actually from the video game, which is awesome. But,
yeah, he's a huge nerd. He was a huge video game nerd.
The suicidal video game nerd. I thought that was a good movie. Not much else to say about it. Had some great tunes. I think, I can show you the world. I don't know what the fuck that song's called, but I think that was at least an equal, if not better, to Hakuna Matata, which I can't remember a single line of. Yeah, it just had the whole adventure element. The end scene where I think Jafar, turned into that fucking giant snake and stuff was like a pretty thrilling ending for a Disney animation. And yeah, I just thought that was good times when I was a kid. I loved it when I was a kid. I never quite got into the Mega Drive game. Like I know loads of people really love that fucking Mega Drive game. Like, oh my god, it's the best thing ever. But like that game fucking sucks.
I prefer the SNES game too, actually.
That sucked too.
No.
It sucked, man.
No, it was good.
It was bad. So, Human Metal, any thoughts on Aladdin?
No,
he started it.
I started that. You have to ask Bragg.
Motherfucker.
And I already
How
told
about you.
I really like Aladdin, actually. It's a really good movie, especially Robin Williams. As a kid, I found his performance in the movie hilarious. And Jasmine, of course. Jasmine, of course, is probably the hottest Disney princess. Let's be honest, guys. Let's be honest here.
I think so.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. If I had to bang a Disney princess, ooh, I'm not going to shit you. I'd bang Amy Adams from Enchanted, but it had to be animated.
Well, she's the incarnation of all the.
Yeah, and actually, I know which one. Of course, Human Metal would bang. Which is...
Don't say it.
The guy from Lady and the Tramp, of course.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Thought we were beyond those jokes, but apparently not.
No, we're not.
No, never. I think that was literally porn for him when he was like 10. Lady and the Tramp and the Aristocats.
Get it out of your system, guys.
It's exactly what you had to do when you watched those fucking films.
Uh-huh. So, let's move on to the next question.
All right, so...
Are we already talking about hard R-rated stuff?
Yes, hard R ratings. We all love hard R ratings, especially Bragg. Basically speaking, what Disney franchise do you want to see rebooted into a hard R, a hard R reboot? So yeah, going like hardcore Human Metal. This was your question. We already know where this is going. You want to turn fucking the Aristocrats and Lady and the Tramp into the Animal Farm.
Like Chuchu already said, I came up with this question because they're already doing like these live action imaginations of their classic tales like Cinderella and what was the first one, Sleeping Beauty, I think, or whatever, stuff like that.
Cinderella, actually.
But those still like a bit of a punch for me. So I thought, yeah, let's go darker, let's go crazy. The franchise, or not, well, franchise, the classic Disney animated movie I would reboot as a hard R-rated movie would be The Little Mermaid. You can, and it's pretty easy. You can let it start out like the old movie, but after she gets her legs and fucks around a bit, because she has a vagina now, so it's an R-rated movie, so that has to happen.
Where's her vagina? Doesn't make sense. Where would it be?
After she gets her legs, she has a normal human body.
Wow! That's like 80% into the movie.
Yeah, but like I said, you can keep the first part, and after that, she discovers everything that is with. Gets around, is together with being a human. You turn it into an apocalyptic revenge story. And, this time Sebastian the crab actually gets killed by the cook, like, not alluded to just in the movie where it doesn't happen, in the old movie. And now it actually happens. And she finds out after she ate him. And that drives her so insane that she declares war on the human kingdom, changes her name to Aquagirl, and, and basically goes to town on all the humans. And Prince Eric has to form a pact with Ursula, the Merwitch, to battle.
Actually, by the way, Ursula, Choo-Choo's mother would be pretty good for a live-action Ursula, I think.
So maybe we should cast her. Anyway, and then death and destruction, trident-induced decapitations and disembowelments, people fighting jumping sharks, dolphins skewering soldiers, all the good stuff. Bloody mess. Yeah, I would love to see that.
Talking about disembowelments, that kind of reminds me of Brack's mother.
Great. Anyway, no, I'm done. And hopefully so will you be in the not-too-distant future. Yeah, that is my suggestion for a hard R-rated reboot.
Okay, now it's mine. My pick would be Mulan. I think it's the most fitting, actually. It would actually could be like a badass live-action movie with a lot of war scenes, some dragons. She's basically the Asian Daenerys with a dragon, so she could just kick some ass. A lot of war scenes, a lot of people cutting off heads.
Actually, your mother's a dragon who cuts off heads, although she's not badass.
That's not even a good joke. It's just really, really bad.
Like your mother. Carry on. We've descended into hell.
Like your mother, yeah. Yeah, okay. Like I said, Mulan would be a pretty badass live-action movie because it's just basically like it's just basically like a war movie, actually. It has like a lot of war scenes. The story, there's nothing in the story that doesn't translate well to live action, I think. And yeah, you just get like a badass like action movie, with a lot of bad scenes and some like funny comic relief and dragons. Who doesn't like dragons?
Get Ridley Scott on board to direct that. That'd be
No, don't get Ridley Scott to it. Please no.
I totally knew you were going to say that. I guess
Ridley Scott can direct a live-action remake of Robin Hood, which he already did, and it sucked. So yeah,
it did not suck.
Pretty much. It did suck a lot.
It didn't. Well, yeah, like Brack's mother.
It was horrible.
But, it did. It didn't. It didn't suck. It was awesome. But we'll save that for the Ridley Scott episode, which is coming at some point. But yeah, hey, for me, hard R rating, of course. Where's the choo-choo's mind going to go? Where it always goes, into the gutter. So I want to see the Disney princess movie, like hard R rating, like seriously, live action, or maybe like kind of like Enchanted. Maybe at the beginning it could be animated, and then it could switch to like live action at some point for some kind of plot mechanic or whatever. But I'm thinking like. It's like Battle Royale with sex. So all the Disney princesses kind of, they have to compete for this, like the prince's attention or whatever. So they have to commit various lewd sex acts, whatever. I'm just going to lay out on the table. Yes, I'm a fucking pervert. So they just, a bit like Brack's mother. So they basically.
Actually, the pervert side is like, I think it's your mother's side of the family.
Anyway, you should know, you sick fuck.
Your mother's side. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you do know, Brack. Motherfucker. So anyway, it's like Battle Royale with sex. So like between like each round of like lewd sex acts, they would just kill each other off. It'd be amazing. Who would be the winner? Who's gonna be the queen of the Disney princesses?
Are you saying it will be the? By the way,
right there.
Exactly.
You're saying it's going to be the horny games instead of the Hunger Games?
Exactly. That's the shit. That's the title. The Disney, Aladdin's Harem, the horny games. Hard R rating. Box office gold, my friend. Someone make that movie. Come on, Disney.
Let's get Jennifer Lawrence to star in it.
Yes. Fucking A.
You know what?
We'll get Amy Adams back as well. You want to kickstart
It's such a good idea. It's such a good. I think I'm gonna go right now and go to Hollywood to do it right now. To actually go to Hollywood to make the movie.
Yeah, fucking hell. I tell you what, if you got that made, I'm telling you, I'd go see it.
Yeah, I think you will see it. You'll probably also be the only one to see it.
Seriously, I think if you make that film, people would come. They'd be interested. I mean,
literally people would come.
Literally. Like you did with my mum. But I didn't with yours, because she shit in bed.
This entire episode is just shit.
It is. It's
Oh my god,
hilarious.
it's horrible.
Oh,
It's so bad.
Who saw that coming?
my mother, apparently.
She saw Bragg coming.
So with that, we've come to the end of this week's visit to the ocean floor.
Thank God.
Please join us next time you swallow some AA batteries and start pooping out lightning strikes. Until then, this is the Radiophonic Sea Creatures.